Hi, welcome to Watson's Stay Healthy Expert Tips Bright Start for Healthy Kids. My name is Ruby, Watson's pharmacist. And today we have Dr. Anushree here with us to discuss about strong immunity for kids' health. First of all, doctor, I have a question. What are the major differences between adults' immunity and kids' immunity?
Babies, we start from babies. Babies' immunity and adult immunity is different. They are born with innate immunity, which is the function of their blood cells in their body, together with antibodies that they get from the mother through the placenta. So when babies are born, they do have a certain amount of defenses in their bodies to fight off infections. Now, usually after 6 months of age, the child needs to start building up their own immunity, what we call adaptive immunity. They have adapted to the environment, and there are two ways of doing this. One way is through vaccination. So we do vaccinate against most of the severe and life-threatening diseases before 6 months of age, so that by the time the child is 6 months, they are already started to build some immunity of their own. The second way is by getting sick, and by this your body will learn to build antibodies and to build immune cells in order to fight this infection. So as you grow and as you grow into an adult, your body becomes very efficient at fighting off infections. And then there's a period later on when you're elderly, when all the body's cell functions and the immune system starts to slow down again. And this is why elderly are more prone to certain infections, because their immune system is not as optimal as it should be.
Okay, so that brings us to this question that is it normal for a child to get sick often?
Of course, it's not common for children to get severe infections, but it's very common for children, especially after 6 months of age, to start contracting coughs and colds and minor infections, especially like vomiting, diarrhea. These are also ways that the body builds the immunity. And the studies have shown that on average, healthy children with healthy immune systems may get fever and illness, minor illnesses, about 8 to 12 times a year. All children have to catch the infection because their body doesn't know how to fight the bugs yet.
How do the parents should deal with the child illness such as cold and flu? Should they bring them to the doctor immediately?
If the child is still a baby, maybe let's say especially under 6 months, it's always better to consult a doctor. After 6 months, when your child has a fever, cough or flu, there's a few things you can look out for. One is the level of fever. Is it very high fever? And secondly, it is how active your child is. If your child is still able to play, maybe when the fever is high, they may be a little bit underactive. But once your fever comes down, they're active, they're able to eat and drink normally. Possibly you can just monitor first at home. You can give some simple medication like paracetamol for fever, maybe certain mild cough and flu medicines.
Okay, so as doctor mentioned just now, so if the child gets sick, such as getting a cold and flu, so it does help to strengthen the immune system?
But a common cold where you have runny nose, a little bit of cough, these infections are common. Unfortunately though, there are more than 1,000 viruses that can cause these infections. So just because you have one cold, it doesn't mean that you're not going to catch a cold again. So yes, it does teach your body's immune system to be better and more efficient, but it may protect you from one particular strain of virus, but it doesn't necessarily protect you from all the thousands of viruses that are causing a cold.
Lastly, doctor, do you have any tips to share with all the parents on how to boost the kids' immunity?
So one of the biggest factors that influence a child's immune system is sleep. And a child ideally needs to have 12 to 16 hours of sleep within a 24-hour period. The younger they are, the more sleep they need. So your child needs to be growing well. They need to have good nutrition. You know, good nutrition in children doesn't necessarily mean eating a lot, but they need to be eating the right types of food. If your child has a healthy diet with fruits, vegetables, and good amount of naturally occurring vitamins, the immune system should function perfectly well. So in our childhood, we used to play outdoors a lot. So they need a lot of exposure to sunlight to ensure good vitamin D levels. They need to be active and get rid of all their excess energy every day. If you can do this, your child's immune system should develop normally.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anushree, for your sharing and knowledge today. I'm sure it will help a lot of parents who are concerned and worried about their children's immunity. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye!